How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Cheer Up Dusty with us tonight. He can say his name and what he does in the band.
Hey, I'm Justin, and I sing.
There we go. Well, Justin, thank you for coming on. Much appreciated. I have been hearing been hearing your band name a lot. Big shout outs to Brian Quirk. He was like, "Yo, you got to get Cheer Up Dusty on here," and then I had Card Reader on here, and they said the same thing. So I feel like the name's been circulating. So finally able to lock it down was really cool. So big shouts to them. Go check them.
No, I love
Go check
I
them
love all
out.
those guys.
They're the best. But I don't know too much about Cheer Up Dusty, so this would be a great introduction to getting to know your band. I did check out your music, and it is chef's kiss. But how did Cheer Up Dusty start out? What's like the origin story of the band?
Um, I guess so. The origin just started with me, and I went to my friend Nick to record, just a few songs, and then
Mhm.
did a few music videos, and wanted to play. I hadn't played a show in a couple years, and just wanted to do the thing. And then COVID happened, and then
Mhm.
you know, kind of just spiraled out of control, I guess, from there, and just started doing more and more and putting out stuff. And then shows came back, and yeah, we've just kind of been hitting it hard since, and trying to kind of see how far we can get. We started touring a little bit, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
that's
been
that's
seeing
kind of
that.
where we're at.
And then I guess how did you find your other members? Were they a part of like the local scene near you, or just how did you kind of come to find out with your band? Because obviously, you being like the originator of the band and starting it out, I feel like that's like a very high task to try to like put together a team. So how did you find the rest of your members? Pretty much,
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like a Marvel movie. You just
yeah.
kind of,
Assemble
but
the squad.
yeah, I mean, and it's all different ways. So we just lost our bassist, who was my good friend Pat, who I've known since high school. But he always had like a time frame, so he just left. But he was just my friend who I collaborated with a bunch and was just on board. Our guitarist Brian, I met on Facebook in the middle of the pandemic, and we
Wow.
kind of just clicked, and he's been on board since. And then we had a drummer Paul for a while, a great dude, but he cut out. And then our friend Caleb has been on drums for the last half a year now, and so right now I guess it's just me, Brian, and Caleb right now. We've been working a lot with our friend Nick, but yeah, I mean it's tough, man. And everyone works, and
Yeah.
everyone has things, so building that team is hard, but we're cruising.
Yeah, I feel like with having the pandemic and obviously starting the band like probably slightly before that point, um I feel like there's a level of resiliency you have to have as a band to just be like, you know what? Like if this happened, right? I have to know that if I can make it beyond this terrible thing that won't let me out of my house, then I can be rest assured that I'm going to be in a band and I'm going to tour as much as humanly possible when I can. So I feel like you guys have been very much doing that, and I got to give you guys kudos because I feel like for me, like even doing this over the pandemic was like very rewarding, certainly, but also at the same point, it's just like, oh my god, like if this was to stop tomorrow, like I would be okay with the
Not, I mean, you definitely appreciate each and every step of it, but
yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it's you have to have that gritty mentality to kind of get through that. And now, yeah, the fact if anyone's still pushing, respect. So, but appreciate it.
But I feel like you guys are, like I said, I've been seeing your name around, so I feel like that's always a really good sign that, you know, a band's doing that work. So, guys, go check the links below for Cheer Up Dusty. Go give them a follow. Listen, they're from New Jersey. I am also I'm not from New Jersey anymore, but I grew up in New Jersey, so I gotta show the love.
No, definitely. I should love for New Jersey, love for Philly.
Yes, of course, of course. But the next question I have for you is, who are you guys influenced by? Obviously, more specifically, who kind of got you started out doing vocals, and who was like the first early inspirations, and then who influences your style more currently now?
Well, I mean, I never really thought of being a singer until just doing the Dusty stuff. I mean, it was just, it was like I'm gonna do it myself kind of thing at the beginning, and then it just, again, it kind of spiraled. But I was a bassist originally,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so that's what any band I had been in prior, that's what I was doing. But yeah, I just kind of went for it, and then I've just been trying to improve and get better with each release that we have. But I mean, who I mean, it's hard to say who I just try to stay on key, really. And that's kind of my bar. But like for live performances and stuff, I think I look a lot at Ben Barlow from like Neck Deep.
Nice. Yeah.
Just kind of like, because you're without an instrument, you're kind of like part hype man. So I
You
try
are.
to
Yeah.
give a performance kind of. So I go off that. And what's it? Adam from Take It Back Sunday. I watched a lot of his like videos. Guys like that. Pierre of Simple Plan.
Yeah.
Joel from Good Charlotte. Just those kind of like front guys that get
Yeah,
it
that
going.
brings the energy, I feel like
Yeah.
I get you, Justin. Like, I feel like as a vocalist, you're like, man, how am I going to like entice the crowd to just like get up, steal the microphone away from me, and like so I can
Right.
have like a moment of peace for like one hot second, and then get back into singing. Because I feel like, from what I could tell from like scrolling through your Instagram, people are like about as close as they can to your microphone. So I had to give you respect because that's like very easily. I feel like your personal space is just like dissipated. Like you're just like, all right,
I
come on,
mean,
guys,
when you're
let's.
playing a show, there's no personal space.
Well, to be fair, I'm like the one guy that's like in the back, and I'm not like hating. I'm just like, man, I'm glad I'm not blowing my ears out. Like, I wear like the earplugs. I got my arms crossed, or if like I'm working the show, then I have like my camera up, and I just look miserable. And I can assure you, if people have seen me at shows, I am not miserable. It's just if you're holding a camera for like this for like a good like 45 minutes or something like that or longer, you would also not like you wouldn't look the happiest. I'll just say that. But I can
No,
assure
we
you,
appreciate your work, though. Trust me.
it's tough on the arms, but other than that, it's I think sometimes it's just like people look at me and they're like, this guy looks absolutely miserable. There's no way he's having a good time at the show.
No,
No.
no, you're fine, dude. I mean, I'm not a mosh pit person, really. Like when I'm not, obviously, when I'm like playing, I'm kind of in like the middle to the back. But I'm
Yeah.
just taking it in. I'm trying. I mean, if I hope I don't have like a resting bitch face or nothing, dude. I'm having a good time, just being at a show. So, but yeah, no shame, dude. I'm 31. I'm hanging in the back. I'm here though,
I
dude. I'm,
feel
I'm
that. I
here.
feel that. As someone who is turning 30 next year, I yeah, I can definitely resonate with that. So,
Right.
I'm like getting to that point where I'm just like, man, shows are cool, but like eventually I'm gonna reach that point where it's just gonna be like, man, I don't know if it's worth it anymore, But I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. My shout outs to my sister. She sent me this hilarious Instagram clip of like these old women and they like put like metal music over it, and they're just like bobbing their head in like the front row of the concert, and I'm just like, that's either definitely going to be me 100%, or like I'm going to be the guy in the very back with like the biggest like the biggest like headphones or whatever in my like over my head, just to kind of like be like, I'm enjoying the show, it's great, from like with my binoculars, so we'll
Well,
figure it out.
that's gonna be like old folks' homes in like another 50 years. Just
Oh yeah.
metalcore music and like The Office on loop and stuff.
It's gonna be like, and you're gonna be like, oh, I hear Janet's going to that emo night at the at the
Yeah.
at the
Oh,
old
100%.
folks.
100%.
So, looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a
It'd be
party.
great. Yeah. Well, I'm excited.
There we go. Well, Justin, the next question I have for you, I don't typically like asking this question, but I felt so impulsive to ask you where you have gotten the name from, because sometimes it's just like, I find a little cheese ball to ask bands where they get their names from, but this one just seemed very interesting enough to, have its own point. So, how did you come up with the band name, and was that the first band name that you came up with?
So the band name came from like a nickname from a buddy who I used to play music with.
Hmm.
And it was like my name is Justin. It evolved to Justy to Dusty, and then it was like, we were in a band at any time. I was just like not feeling the idea. It'd be like, cheer up, Dusty. And so fast forward, like when I'm like working on the project, I didn't know what to call it at first, but I didn't want one of those names that just came up a lot on like, Spotify
Sure, sure, yeah.
and all that. Um, so I knew I wanted to use Dusty at first, but the cheer up didn't come. I was gonna call it Wake Up Dusty first, like a second,
Hmm.
but I'm like that's not. And then I don't know. I think it came the cheer up Dusty, and I was like, all right, yeah, that's it,
That's what we're landing on,
just,
yeah.
and just ran with it.
That's great. I feel like anytime I get to ask a band about their band name just because I find it very intriguing, it's always good. So maybe I'm just being like a little bit of an
It's
asshole. I'm just like,
nah,
eh.
it's a solid question, my dude. Like, keep it. You're good.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
It gets the Justin seal of approval, so I like
yeah,
it.
100%. That's a
Uh,
good question.
but the next question I have for you, Justin, for people who aren't familiar with Cheer Up Dusty and are checking this video out and are like, man, I like the musical influences. I like the sound. I checked out some of the music. What song would you recommend to a new listener to kind of give them a flavor of your band and what you do?
I mean, our biggest song is called "Everybody Hates Me." That's the one that's gotten like the most traction and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's a good song. I'm proud of my contribution to it, and everyone who who wrote on it and everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much everyone starts, and then if you like that, go a little deeper.
There we go. Well, I don't think I hope everybody doesn't hate you by the end of this. That's my true goal
Thanks.
in interviews. It's not for anybody to go out and be like, man, that Justin guy, not great, So
No,
not cash money, So we'll I listen, don't hate, don't I'm calling you out. Don't hate Justin. He's a gem. Go check out his band.
no, I
Links
appreciate
below.
that.
100%, I know he wrote a song about everybody hating him, but not the case, not the case. But the next question I have for you, Justin, is keeping it more current. What have you been listening to recently? What's on the Spotify? What have you been jamming?
I've been just like diving into like underground kind of shit. There's I mean, I say random band, a band I never heard of pops up. I've been listening to this band called So So
Okay.
for for a while. Let me see who else. Point North has
Yeah,
been a
Point
pretty
North,
like they
great.
have
Yeah.
yeah they have some catchy shit and we're rocking them. I mean, obviously I always do my throwbacks on my old my bread and butter stuff, but and then I've been listening to a lot of my buddy's shit. My buddies All Systems Go just released an album. Um, my buddies in Goalkeeper just released an album. Who you're bros with as well. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of just local shit, Driveways and shit.
Nice. Yeah, they're great too.
Um, yeah, so that's kind of been what I've been rocking with.
There we go. Well, Driveways I had on a very, very, very long time ago. Driveways, if you were watching this, come back on. Would love to have you back on. And then All Systems Go, I've had on very recently. That was
Yeah,
objectively one of the worst slash best interviews I've ever done. They talked about a certain thing that I'm not going to discuss in this video. You're going to have to go check it out. It is messed up my life, and they send me DMs on the daily about this one like Facebook or like Twitter page to follow, and they just send me the worst things and they tag me in it. So shout out to All Systems Go. Always, it's almost like a weekly occurrence. So respect to the dudes, but also at the same time, stop tagging me in that shit. I don't want to see it.
great. That's great.
But go check them all out, as well as also go Goalkeeper. Big shouts to them too. They released a new album and it's awesome. So go check them out. Those are my boys as well. So but the next question I have for you is a fun one. I don't know if you guys have done any cover songs recently, but if there was another one to add to the list, which one are you vibing with?
Um, we haven't really done a cover live. We've jammed, like to ourselves, but we
Sure,
haven't
yeah.
played it. We haven't played a cover live yet. Actually, I'm lying. Last summer we did play "She" by Green Day
Ooh,
one, but that's been like a debate of ours for a minute. Like we don't know what we would, and not like a bad, just like a we don't know what we would even want, like a typical cover or just
sure,
something out of
yeah.
like a field cover. You know, I don't know. I think we're gonna ultimately, if we're gonna do a cover, it's gonna be like a Bad Bunny song or something, something like out of
Wow.
nowhere. Like, yeah, but I swear that's a constant like discussion piece between us. So I have no idea is my answer.
There we go. Well, guys, this is the perfect opportunity. If you check out Cheer Up Dusty and you're like, man, you know what? I feel like I have the perfect song for them to cover. Drop them in the comments.
Yeah, shoot
Let the
it.
people know what you would love to hear from Cheer Up Dusty in regards to covers. I don't know. Let me now that I have said that, let me think if I could put a cover in your guys' wheelhouse. What do I feel
Yeah,
like you guys could
that's neat. I
smash?
would love to hear what like anyone would want us to
Hmm.
play. You know, that'd be cool.
I feel like I want to say a top 40 song just for like I always love the like pop goes punk kind of like records, you
Oh,
know,
sure,
just despite how like
100%.
cheesy they are sometimes it's just like you got a good song. Oh man,
It's a cool concept.
I'm trying to think what could you guys like absolutely obliterate? I feel like you guys could do like a Halsey song, you know? I feel like that'd be kind of tight. I'd be about that, you know? She's kind of got the edge, you know, a little bit, you
She
know?
does. Yeah, she's got a little what would you yeah, like a little of art like genre like it like in intertwined with her anyway.
So I feel like a Halsey song. My
All
metaphorical
right.
token in the
I'll
pot
bring
there.
that one to the boys and we'll see.
There we go. Well, guys, let us know down below which ones you would love to hear from Cheer Up Dusty. But the next question I have for you, Justin, is another fun one. What is your favorite food to eat? I kind of like I had it in the back of my head. I was just like,
Yeah,
I
like
swear to God, if he says pizza, no, I'm kidding. That's
I mean, yeah,
a great
I mean,
choice.
it's pizza. I mean, it's easy. It's pizza. The typical pizza, burger, fries. I mean, yeah, I can get down. So
It's it's the atypical, like, it's the quintessential pop punk answer, you know? I feel like if you don't happen to have like some sort of like pizza like logo or something, on your brand for your band that doesn't have anything to do with pizza, I think it's like pizza, skateboarding, hating your hometown. What's another one we can add to that metaphorical
Vans or Converse.
band? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, definitely another like bingo like list item for pop punk music. I feel
Like a chain wallet.
a chain wallet. Oh man, God. I'm sorry if you have all of those items. Then you've completed the pop punk
I
trifecta.
I definitely have a chain wallet somewhere in here. I definitely do.
Justin is living the quintessential pop punk life here. And I
Oh,
respect
dude,
that.
it chooses you, man. It
It does.
chooses you.
The chain wallet chooses you and then doesn't let go because it's chained to your
it's
pants.
that's it.
So
Done.
that was a terrible joke. I'm gonna bury that joke in with the next question that I have for you, Justin, which is, if you could pick somebody to collaborate with on an up and coming Cheer Up Dusty track, who would you love to have on?
Like if I could choose anybody.
I feel like I've been meddling the idea down to
Like,
one being like more realistic, and then
okay.
one being like, God, if money was not an option, I would just go for this option.
Oh, dude. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but if it was anybody, it would have to be Mark Hoppus. He's just kind of what started
You right.
me. So, that's my like in a perfect world. Um, in a more realistic one, on our one EP, Ryan from Goalkeeper was supposed to do a feature, but that night something happened with his car, so he couldn't. So our old bassist Pat did the part he was gonna sing. So I'd like to get Ryan on a track. I'd like to do
Ooh.
a track with Ryan. That'd be cool.
All right, guys. Well, listen, the time has come. The phones will be taken out at this current moment here. I know they've been put on silent. It's just like the movie theater. You turn your phone off or you put it on silent. Now it's time to turn
Right.
on your phone again. And then you go to Twitter and then you tag Mark Hoppus and then you also tag Ryan from Goalkeeper. And then you say collab question mark and then you add Cheer Up Dusty. Again,
That'd be
I am
sick,
not,
right?
listen, I am not a legal counsel. I'm not telling you to do this, but you could
It'd be
do it.
cool.
It would be kind of cool. And
It would be
honestly,
cool.
I feel like Justin would be like pissing his pants, with
Oh, I would
excitement.
just be happy to be there, dude. What are you
Yeah.
talking?
I mean, like, so excited,
Oh,
happy. He's gonna
yeah.
just be so excited that both Ryan from Goalkeeper and Mark Hoppus from Blink 182 are in the same room as him, and they're recording a sick song for your listening pleasure. So,
Yeah, right.
guys, do it. Listen, I'm not telling you to do it. Like, if you feel obligated and you want to help out, you know, do it up. I'm just telling you
Do it up. That'd be
it's
sick.
it would be kind of sick, so make it happen. But the next question I have for you, Justin, is at the closer to the beginning of this interview, you mentioned that you were a bass player and you jumped to vocals. What was your thought process behind that? Because I always find it very interesting when, like, you have someone that had played like another instrument or had done something else and then they got wind up migrating to, like, like the drums or the guitar, or they're like, oh man, like I can play guitar and sing, so let me do that. What was your kind of thought process? Because I feel like bass is like obviously great portion of the rhythm section here, but what kind of, I guess, like kind of got you the ideology of being a vocalist and wanting to kind of be at the front and do singing?
I mean, like I said, for like the first release, I kind of just wanted to do something real bad, so I just kind of did it all. I don't want to say did it all myself, but like I was just like, because I'll sing, I'll play bass, I'll do, I did some guitar on it, and then
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like put it together, and then when I kind of evolved it to like, hey, let's actually make this a band and do the go do the thing.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of when it's like, all right, how do we make it strong? And Pat wanted to play bass, so it's like, all right, you can do that. And then we got Brian on guitar, Paul on drums. And then it was just like the strongest way to make the band is if I just sang, and then I could have all that space to
Mm-hmm.
do what I can do with a crowd. And yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where it landed, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, until now, I didn't ever expect to just be a singer, like no instrument, nothing. Like I mean, it's all just like how it happened.
Sure, yeah.
And then I'm kind of just working with it. Yeah, it's
It's a
kind of
work in
where
progress.
I'm just like kind of faking it till I fake it till you make it. Really, this is all very new to me. But hey, it's
There you
cool.
go. Well, listen, I feel like as listening to Cheer Up Dusty, it never really occurred to me that it was just like, okay, this is like his first like project doing vocals. Like if I didn't know this about your band, I would have just been like, yeah, he's got some like solid vocals. Like obviously like everybody
I
can work on
appreciate
some
that.
things. I'm a shitty
Thank you.
interviewer, so I got to continue working on that every day. But I feel like with vocalists, like that's something, obviously very similarly to people who play instruments, but vocals, really obviously drive the song. Unless you like listen to like instrumental music, then they go about that in a different way. But with vocals, like I feel like there's always that opportunity to like see how that person progress. Like you can see a lot of the like initial starting points of like a band and where they're like, okay, he's trying to find his voice, right? And then like, the next release you're like, oh, okay, now he's getting to that point. And I feel like that's with your band, like not that it's like you had started out on a particularly bad point, but it's cool to see like how you're kind of growing as a vocalist, or like I would imagine not knowing too much prior to doing this band. So it's cool to see, and
Yeah,
I think for me it's very exciting, and obviously I'll be keeping an eye out on what Cheer Up Dusty has to come next. But I had to say, started on a good starting block, and I feel like it's only going up. Cheer Up Dusty
I
stocks
appreciate the
going
kind
up.
words, dude. Thank you.
So buy in now. It's now time to buy in. Cheer Up Dusty stocks
Yeah,
are
it's
at the low here, and
yeah,
we're climbing up.
yeah. Climb with us. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
There we go. Well, the next question I have for you, Justin, is my personal favorite. I don't know if you can tell here, but I have a smattering of different video game stuff here on my little stand here. But I have to ask, if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Oh man, probably Crash Bandicoot. That's my dude. You know, I grew up on that. That was probably like my game was the first three. You know, yeah, one, two, Warped, Crash
Yeah.
Bash, the whole thing. Yeah, I love. I was a PlayStation kid, so
Ah.
um, Crash Bandicoot, and then like the runner up would probably be like Spyro.
Ooh, yeah, another
Back in,
PlayStation classic.
yeah, or you ever hear of Toe Jam and Earl?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
I would want to be one of those guys.
All
So
right. All right. Yeah.
yeah.
I like this. All right. Very cool. That kind of reminds me of like when I was growing up as a kid, my all three of my collective friends, one I'm still good friends with to this day. Um they all had like a different video game system. So I had like the GameCube. My one buddy had like the PlayStation, and the other friend of mine had like the Xbox. So we'd all go to like each other's house and play like the different games and stuff. Like as
Oh,
a
that's
kid
pretty
growing
rad.
up, because like obviously like we didn't have a lot of money, and we're not gonna ask our parents for like three different systems.
Every
So
system.
every system, every game, so we'd all like kind of collaborate on like what next game we should get for each collective console, and it was a good time. So I feel like I played a lot of PlayStation games for never owning a PlayStation. So it was
What
always fun.
what a time to be alive.
Oh yeah, it was a great, great looking back, and obviously it continued my love of video games still. So I got owe a lot to that. That's why I always have this in my rotation of questions. But um, the next question I have for you, Justin, if you were
Yeah.
to compile a dream tour lineup including Cheer Up Dusty, who would be on this rad lineup?
that's that's a very hard one.
I think you can do it though. I got faith.
So um Brian's favorite band is the Chili Peppers, so I'll throw them
Ooh,
on that
all right, all
tour.
right. Shouts.
Um, you know, I did. I grew up with Blink, so I mean, obviously, I already said Mark Hoppus, so I would, you probably want to throw them on there.
Of course. You got to
Um,
play the new song.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm trying to think who would like. I'm trying to think of everyone and like give everyone, what they would want. So like, I'm
Fair
trying to think
enough.
of Caleb. Who would Caleb want, like to make it like really awesome? He's got a big old Black Sabbath poster. Maybe like if Ozzy came, like and did like in tour, I think that
Ooh.
or if Sabbath, came back and like was on that. I mean they're like three random bands, but that would be pretty epic if you think about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I think.
It would be very eclectic. So I'd be about it. Guys, listen, the world tour is happening. We got Cheer Up Dusty opening this insane tour up, a tour of a lifetime, some might say. So listen, pre-sale tickets in the links below. It's in the link tree or whatever, so you can go buy them now. Make sure to follow them on social media. They're gonna blow up in the next couple months. I'm totally
Well,
not.
with a tour like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, totally, totally blowing up. So can't wait, guys. You heard it here first. So I don't wanna tell you otherwise, but the next question I have for you, Justin, is another one kind of linking to like the Dream Tour lineup, but I imagine you have gone to many shows over your years of seeing bands, but in your opinion, who puts on a great live performance?
Um, uh, when I was younger, I saw Fall Out Boy, and like
Oh,
the whole show started with them like getting shot up from the ground and then like landing on their feet, starting the first song. So they
wow.
kind of just like they just started with like this huge bang, and I just remember just all the pyrotechnics and like the lights. Like I remember I must have been like 17. I remember just being like like just so,
Oh yeah.
enamored. So that I still remember that very vividly. So that was probably one of the best things I saw. Funny enough, Angels and Airwaves, Tom DeLonge's other band.
Yes.
I saw them like a few years ago, and they had this amazing light show, and it was far out. So I remember that taking over me, that performance. So those are the first two that come to mind.
Nice. I think I may have been at the same Angels and Airwaves show at I think it was at the Fillmore. I don't
It
know if
was at the
that's
Fillmore.
Yep,
Hell yeah.
we went to the same one then because I remember I was like upstairs and I was actually at the Fillmore Foundry for a different show because I think Don Broco was like headlining in at the Foundry, and some of my
Cool.
homies are on that tour, so I went to that, and they were like, "Oh, guess what? Like, Angels and Airwaves is next door." I was like, "No way!" So then we like snuck into the other show, and
Oh, so rad.
I got to watch Tom do like Tom's thing on Angels and Airwaves, and like it was very cool. You know, that was kind of obviously, but before the times of like him rejoining Blink 182 as of more
Oh
currently.
yeah.
So I was like, man, this is the only time I'm going to be able to see Tom. And like, he's going to play, like, he started playing some Blink songs. And I was just like,
Yeah.
oh man, that would have been really cool if I could see him in Blink. So I feel
Yeah,
like
he does a little Blink melody. It's pretty rad.
I feel like now I gotta go see him on this upcoming tour, you know, because you know who knows what can happen, you know. So I feel like if I can't, I want to miss out on the opportunity to see like OG Blink 182, you know.
I tried getting tickets, but it the prices got to the point where I couldn't keep up.
It was
So
so nuts. So I'm hoping to maybe go to a Jason Fest. So guys, if you're going to that, say what's up. I'll probably try to see if I can go to that show. But the next question I have for you, Justin, is what is your favorite TV show, favorite movie?
that's hard. That's a hard question, just because it like all that goes off of my mood. But um, I mean, movie wise, I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars dude.
Oh
So like,
yeah.
I'm down to watch any kind of Star Wars. I love Clerks. You know, I love Kevin Smith movies.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know, I like the whole Marvel. You know, I liked all the first few phases of Marvel. I think the recent ones is kind of meh, but uh, yeah, I'm like not that deep with like. I mean, I've been watching a lot of like horror recently, like a
Okay.
lot of '80s like thrashers and like shit like that, like low budget stuff,
All
which
right.
has been taking up a little bit of my time. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'll watch anything, man. I love movies, but it's hard to say favorite because it's just like I'll be in the mood to watch this, that, the other thing. Um,
Yeah.
favorite show? Oh, favorite show? Damn, that one's hard too. I don't even know. Like, I really can't. I mean, I like a lot of like just dumb sitcom, you know, like
Okay.
Seinfeld, and Friends, and stuff. Those
Oh
are like
yeah.
my comfort shows and shit. I like a lot of like adult, you know, cartoons. I like Family Guy, South Park, BoJack
Oh
Horseman,
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
all that kind of stuff. You know, but yeah, it's hard to say my favorite show. Breaking Bad was cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like as someone who like makes content on a regular, it's always hard for me to like sit down and watch a movie or like a TV show unless I like know for a fact I have like time to carve out to like do it or
Right.
watch it, right? So I kind of feel that way. I always try to ask this question because like for me it's like if I'm gonna spend time to watch like a TV show, I like want it to be good. And I'm not saying like if I just put anything on, I'm not gonna like it. But you know, I feel like people giving me recommendations essentially to check out some stuff, then I feel like I gotta like see what's good or what's like what people are watching and stuff. Because like I don't know, I feel like I fall off the train very much, you
Yeah,
know.
it's hard to keep up. There's so much out there now with
Oh
fun.
yeah.
There's so many streaming, and then like you know, I get into like the popular stuff. I like Stranger Things and
Oh
all
yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. But yeah, it's hard to just. I mean, there's so much shit out there now. But yeah,
So guys, let us know if there's a good show to watch or a good movie to watch in the comments. I would love to know what you guys are like digging right now because not that I have time to watch it, but if I do have time to watch it, I'll check the comments and I'll see what's good and I'll let people know what's up. But um the next question I have for you, Justin, if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would that be?
Dude, I don't know.
I
I
feel like
gotta.
I am breaking Justin live
Oh
right now.
damn. Nah, you know what it is? Because I just know whoever listens to this is gonna judge me so,
Oh, nah. Listen,
intensely
no one
hard with
hate
my
Justin.
answer.
I already said this at the top of the interview, but we're not. Listen, you think I forgot about that shit? We're not. Don't.
So,
No hating on him.
so any album? I mean, for a whole month, it had to be something like iconic, kind of maybe
Okay.
like American Idiot. You know,
Ooh. All right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think that's the worst answer. I mean that's a pretty good like straightforward at like front
I
to
would
back
agree.
type of album. So maybe that isn't the worst answer.
I feel like yeah, I feel like when I ask people this question, they're either like really like, oh my god, what the fuck am I gonna pick for like a month? And I'm like, it's a month, man. Like I'm not telling you of all time. I'm just telling you like if you could listen to something for the next 30 days and that's all you could listen to, like what's an album that you feel like is like just a 10 out of 10, you know? I like there's I would argue there are very few records that I can think of off the top of my head that are just like phenomenal works of art from like front to back. And that's I'm
Front to
not
back.
discounting like music in as a whole cuz I'll listen to
Nah,
practically anything, but there's
it's
some
hard.
albums that are like either like they hit that nostalgia and you're just like god, I fucking love that album. Like I say this almost every time I ask this question or someone asks me, I always say like the self-titled Salison record. That was like what got me
It's
into
good.
like music as like a collective. So I always say that one because that one I can recite from front to back. Like I know what song's coming next. I know what the
Yeah.
lyrics are. Like like I can sing it with emphasis, and I feel like that's kind of my barometer of like okay, this is like a top tier album that I know if I had a month to listen to it, I know I wouldn't get tired of like just listening to it a ton. And I could
Yeah,
probably listen to it beyond a month.
it's what can I take for a month? Because you're
Pretty
literally
much.
talking about one. I think even the best album in the world, if that's all you listen to for a week straight and nothing else, you're still gonna be like,
I mean, I'm not
after
gonna
a
say it's
while.
an easy road, but I could definitely say that for sure. If that was like if I was like old school Brandon and I like had my CD player and that was the only CD I could listen to for like the next month,
You
then I
get
would do
through it.
it. I'd get through it,
Yeah,
because I know
I
I
feel it.
love that record. So I feel like that's kind of it. But I'm never gonna like come up to somebody and be like, okay, you said Green Day's American Idiot. I'm gonna hit you up in 30 days if you haven't listened to Green Day every day for the next 30 days. Thumbs down. No, I would never do that. But it would be funny if I did actually do that. But yeah, no, I like American Idiot. That was, I would say, along with Dookie, like those two albums are so like iconic Green Day. So I got to give you a lot of respect for that answer.
Yeah, I thought that was an alright. But now,
Now you're
pondering
gonna
about
think
it, I'm
about
like,
it.
oh, I probably should have picked this. But yeah, I mean that's the first. I'll have to stick with it because that's the first one I came up with.
It's all right. If you want to give me some answers in post, I'll just throw some text up on the screen and you can if you come
Yeah.
up with something. I always say there's like a fog doing the interview, and then after, some people will just message me and be like, "Son of a bitch! Like this was the answer I actually wanted to pick," and then I'm like, "Okay, I could just throw the text on the screen." So
Nah, but it's one of those questions, man. Like you gotta just really,
spitfire. Okay, I
yeah,
respect. I respect the respect for the answer. So kudos. I'm sure Green Day would appreciate that one, but uh, the last thing, Justin, I end all of my interviews out with this. So again, I appreciate your time and coming on, certainly. But
oh, dude, I appreciate you, man.
oh, thank you. But the most important thing, I always find doing this for 7 years of my life now that people people often associate musicians with like, they're like, oh, this is great music. I love it. And then, we kind of neglect the person that like maybe makes the music unintentionally, it's not like, you're not important. Everybody, Justin's important. Just remember that. But like, people as artists, we create it and we use it as an outlet or whatever we try to garner from music, right? And the question that I kind of land myself on every time I have people on to interview is, why do you create music? Like, what does this do to you that, like, either helps you grow as a person, or you find this as an outlet to like get out things that, you want to get out, or you want to resonate with other people. So, the question is, Justin, like, why do you make music? Like, is it, what's the reasoning behind you starting a band and wanting to do this?
Um, well, I mean, I can only speak for me. Obviously, I don't.
Sure.
I don't speak for everyone in the band.
I know it's a loaded
I,
question.
no, I mean, yeah, no, yeah, it's a great, but I mean, just the first thing I could think of is just if I didn't, it just wouldn't make any sense. I don't. It's just so. I mean, my normal life is I go to work. I have my son who I take care of and love, and then I have my families and friends, and then I play music. That's
Mhm.
kind of just the whole recipe for what I do. And yeah, I honest to God, I don't know what else to do with
Sure,
my
yeah.
time, or what I would do, or because nothing else feels like that. Nothing else feels correct,
Sure, yeah.
you know.
I got you.
So I spent a lot of time away from music after my son was born, and it took me a while to come back, and now it's like I feel okay. So I guess the answer is contentment. Like I feel okay.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of just the first step. So
Yeah.
as long as I'm feeling okay, then everything's okay. So yeah, that's just my answer. It's just yeah, that's
No,
it.
yeah. I feel like, like, and I can definitely resonate with that too, because I always felt like music for me was a way for me to connect to other people. Like, I shock a lot of people in knowing that, like, I was a super shy individual, very reserved, and most people that have met me would know that like they're like, You got to be joking. You wouldn't be doing this if you, like, knew how to talk to people or whatever." And like,
Right.
people can go back and see, like, I was nervous as shit like the first year of doing this, because I didn't think I was very good at it. And I would arguably say I'm like minusculely better now. But I feel like, I do this because I know there's so many artists out there that work their asses off, that, whether it's something you do for, like, as Justin says, do it for contentment, or you do it for, like, other reasonings, you're doing it and you're making music, and, people deserve to have that audience and, have recognition. So, that's, kind of my thing, is that I want to be able to try to help artists out in any way that I can, even if it is like a smaller platform. And, obviously, as the time grows on, it gets bigger. And, I'm always appreciative for the support. But um, it always shows me that, like, there's people out there that are equally as passionate about the things that they do as I am. And, I hope that this gives them the platform to, like, do shit for themselves, So I hope that this incentivizes you, Justin, to continue doing it. Not that contentment's great, but I feel like you should do it for you and what you like to do. And I'm sure that's also a reasoning as well. But yeah, keep it up, because I feel like a lot of times people can just be like, "Yeah, you fucking suck, man. This is terrible," and that's not good, man. I don't think it's great. I mean, people tell me I suck at doing this, and I still do it. So, proving the haters wrong. So,
No, I
love it.
mean, yeah, you can't. I mean, when you do anything publicly,
Oh yeah.
and shit, it's just, it comes with that. And I learned that early on, where there's nothing that can pop on a screen that's really gonna bug me. I mean, nothing's gonna change my life,
Sure. Yeah.
that drastically. But no, man. I mean, people like you. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game for people like me, just trying to get their band act, and then you have
Yeah.
people like you, where your passion is like to bring that all together, and we need you just as much, man, if not more. So, nah, just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, we'll grind it out together. That's kind of the name of the game, dude. You
Hell
know.
yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. We got it. Listen, on
Let's
ground level,
go.
we're on ground level Dusty. Let's go. Like we're going sky high, baby. Next interview, we're going to be chilling out with Mark Hoppus, and then Ryan from Goalkeepers is going to be chilling there, so just
I mean,
saying.
who's to say that's impossible, my dude? You know.
Bro, yeah, it's next level. So that's what I'm expecting. We're gonna be filming it on a yacht, all that stuff. So
uh,
very exciting shit. Very stoked. Uh, but
Rad.
the last thing, Justin, the most important thing, and the reason why everybody should go check out your band is where can they find you out on social media, what you have coming up in the next couple months, and anything else you would like to plug or talk about. This will be out
Uh,
roughly like the end of December, roughly around
okay.
that time.
Cool. Cool. All our socials are at Cheer Up Dusty. Very straightforward. The gram, the Facebook,
Woo!
the Twitter, the TikTok. It's
Hey.
that. All that. Um, right now, we have an EP already recorded and
Oh
mixed
yeah.
mastered.
Oh yeah.
So we're a little bit of time doing some videos and the content and all the that come with that album cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're gonna be back on tour next year, and we'll be hitting it hard and just kind of seeing where what kind of audience we can build and what we can do.
There we go. Well, listen, you heard it here first. Go check out Cheer Up Dusty. Listen, I know I already said it earlier, but we're on the ground level, baby. You got gang next year ready. You aren't ready. They're gonna be recording a song with Mark Hoppus and Ryan from Goalkeeper. I know I keep mentioning it, but
It's great.
it's just on the mind. It's on the mind.
Nah, I mean, if you visualize it enough in your mind,
Yeah, exactly.
that's a big
I'm
thing,
already
right?
visualizing the demo being played right now in my head, how the melodies are going. So, listen, if you want to visualize with me, and you also want to visualize with Cheer Up Dusty, you can check the links in the description and we can all visualize together what what that song's going to be like cuz we all know what it's going to sound like. So, let's make it happen. And
Yeah.
again, make sure to go follow Cheer Up Dusty so you can be on the ground level, what's going on.
Yeah.
You can say comments like, man, I remember Cheer Up Dusty was such a small band, and now they're playing on yachts out in Barbados. So listen,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna say that, you're gonna say that, and it's gonna be just a great thing. So make sure to make that happen, and go follow them on all of their applicable social media. It'll all be linked down below. And if you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way. Really appreciate your support and your love. So thank you very much for watching. If you don't want to look at us, which I would be very disappointed if you didn't want to look at us, arguably, I think we're both pretty hot individuals. So, I'm just saying, you know, you'd be missing out. But if you do not want to do that, or you're driving home from work and you want to hear, our beautiful voices, then you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms. It will be up on there as well. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled, or I guess your ears peeled, which would be really weird. So don't do that. But please go check out Cheer Up Dusty. And huge thanks to Justin for coming on tonight and chatting with me.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.